The Hummer serves as a prime illustration of the impact of a story conveyed through action. The product itself, purely in terms of engineering, consistently improved during its existence, from birth to peak popularity and eventual death in under 2 decades. The fate of the Hummer, however, was not influenced by its technical abilities but rather its unique and powerful design. The Hummer brand has little history, yet its trucks have become massive symbols of American automotive culture. Initially developed for military purposes, Hummers were recognized for their large size, off-road prowess, and fuel efficiency. Unfortunately, the latter attribute turned out to be the downfall of the Hummer. As the economy started to decline in 2007, the demand for gas-guzzling behemoths waned, resulting in the discontinuation of the Hummer brand and the end of production in 2010. Let's analyze the story of Hummer together. Chapter 1. The Beginning. The Humvee was established for the Department of Defense by the American Motors Corporation, AMC, in 1977. The Humvee quickly became a signature vehicle of the U.S. military, with 72,000 units built by 1991. Its ruggedness and versatility in transporting troops and supplies over challenging terrain made it especially valuable in Middle Eastern conflict areas. Eventually, AMC resolved to generate a civilian version, greatly due to the efforts of Arnold Schwarzenegger, a former world champion bodybuilder, and Hollywood action icon. Arnold initially saw a line of military Humvees while on the shoot of the movie Kindergarten Cop in Oregon. He was instantly drawn to the vehicle. He spent several years advocating AMC management until they finally agreed to create a civilian version. In 1992, he became the owner of the first civilian Hummer to come off the assembly line and was renowned for driving it everywhere, including his movie launches. The Hummer was more than just a mode of transportation for Arnold, it was a vital component of his personal tale. The tough, costly war machine harmonized well with his image as an action hero in significant, expensive movies. Arnold's celebrity endorsement aided the popularity of the Hummer brand and solidified its tale in popular culture. And, when environmentalists criticized the Hummer's fuel utilization, it only added to its appeal for those who wanted to defy the tree huggers. Arnold was the perfect person to do so, as the Terminator himself. Chapter 2. The Success. In 1998, as the popularity of the Hummer was growing and General Motors saw an opportunity to make substantial profits from selling each vehicle, priced between $50,000 and $100,000, they acquired the brand from AMC and focused on upgrading it for civilian use. The initial bulky, rough-riding civilian model was renamed the Hummer H1. In the beginning, the Hummer H1 repeatedly failed all the government emissions tests until a filter was installed, reducing emissions by 63%. Despite opposition from the Environmental Protection Agency, General Motors pushed for mass production of diesel-powered vehicle, leading to a legal battle that went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. The H1's pollution was 25 times higher than that of the previous most polluting car, the Chevrolet Impala. The Hummer H1 had various models, including a soft-top convertible, a 4-door hardtop pickup truck, and a wagon version, while the 2-door pickup truck and 4-door slant-back models were only available for fleet use. Another feature of Hummers was their bulletproofing, as the body is made of a special steel designed to withstand bullets and high-impact objects, and the windows are made of thick, bullet-resistant glass. The H1 model isn't produced nowadays anymore, and the only way you could get your hands on one is if you find a used one. GM quickly introduced 2 new H2 and H3 models based on smaller GM vehicle platforms. The Hummer H2 and H3 became well-known vehicles that catered to various driver needs with multiple features. While both models were skilled off-road, the H2 offered more spaciousness, power, and equipment for navigating rough terrain. In contrast, the Hummer H3's smaller frame was ideal for city driving or easy tackling mild trails. The main distinction between the two was their size, with the H2 being a full-sized SUV that can comfortably seat 7 people, while the H3 is a mid-sized SUV with a capacity of 5. The H2 boasted a longer wheelbase, wider stance, and higher ground clearance, powered by a larger V8 engine that outpaces the H3's inline-5 engine. Despite its smaller size, the H3 still provided a potent ride, thanks to its turbocharged V6 engine. It was the most miniature and cost-effective Hummer model, featuring two-wheel drive. Note that the H3 is also no longer in production, so you can only purchase used models. The H2 and H3 had a smoother ride and handling, luxurious interior features, and slightly improved gas mileage. The vehicles which General Motors had launched would take the world by storm. The timing couldn't have been more perfect, as the Second Gulf War was unfolding and dominating the news. The Humvees storming Iraq were seen on every news channel, effectively serving as free advertising for GM's newest edition. In 2001, GM sold 768 Hummers, but by the following year, the numbers skyrocketed to even greater heights. That year, 19,581 vehicles were purchased with the launch of the H2. The demand only continued to rise, with 35,259 vehicles sold in 2003. It wasn't long before celebrities caught the trend, with Arnold Schwarzenegger acquiring 7 Hummers and Mike Tyson owning 6. The peak of the Hummer craze was in 2006, when American customers purchased an impressive 71,524 vehicles. Despite their capability to tackle rough terrain, many customers were drawn to the Hummer for its status symbol appeal. The vehicles came in bold colors like yellow, blue, red, and green, and with their prominent road presence, they were pretty hard to ignore. People who wanted to make a fashion statement bought the Hummer with their eyes closed. With that said, the Hummer became not just a vehicle but a symbol of success, power, and style. Chapter 3. The Fall. As we have seen before, Hummer was an extraordinarily successful brand. But in 2010, it ultimately fell short. A combination of economics and bad luck can be used to explain where Hummer went wrong, given that it was expected to earn billions more in the upcoming years. Let's examine why a famous brand like Hummer failed when it was at the pinnacle of the business world. The first reason revolved around its price. If a car salesman came to you right now and offered to sell a luxury car for $100,000, you'd most likely be amused and decline the offer because you could purchase 2 luxury vehicles for that price. This was the general reaction when the Hummer first appeared in the market, attracting only wealthy celebrities and billionaires but not the general public. In 2005, General Motors attempted to increase sales by reducing the price to $50,000, which resulted in a peak in sales the following year. However, the revenue from sales was not enough to cover the high costs of producing Hummer vehicles. The company attempted to attract the average American consumer by lowering the price, but the high cost of ownership and low fuel efficiency compared to other luxury vehicles made it a less appealing option. Another hindrance of the Hummer was its difficulty obtaining parts, even with relentless effort. It is unbelievable how much easier it is now to purchase suitable tires for your Hummer vehicle than it was during its height of popularity. This is because tire makers are now able to provide customized tires. In the past, one would have to purchase the tire directly from General Motors at a substantial cost. The major challenge for Hummer was the lack of availability of its parts, particularly its tires, in the market. No competent mechanic would bother fixing it because the parts are scarce. The only solution was to bring the vehicle back to the manufacturer, General Motors, and have them repair it at a steep price. This was a primary reason why few purchased a Hummer, as they were costly to own and maintain. Lowering a luxury vehicle's cost to fit the average American's budget does not guarantee sales if they are aware of the high maintenance cost. It is not a financially wise choice, and even the rich refrained from buying it. However, the high price tag and rarity of parts were not the only factors that led to the downfall of the Hummer. Its timing in the market also played a role. During the economic downturn in 2008, luxury cars were often among the last items sold due to high gas prices, which made them unaffordable to many. The 2008 recession saw an absurd increase in gas prices. The cost was even higher for those needing high-quality fuel for their luxury vehicles. This made owning a Hummer, which was already expensive to run, even less appealing to consumers. Chapter 4. Lessons to learn from the rise and fall of Hummer. Hummers played a significant role in the vehicle business, particularly in the luxury SUV market. Generally speaking, the high-end vehicle catered mainly to the wealthy and famous, with a price tag to match. During the 2008 recession, gas prices significantly increased, making luxury vehicles, including Hummers, even less attractive to the everyday consumer. But, Hummer's inability to adapt to the changing market and its steep price tag eventually led to its downfall. The failure of Hummer serves as a valuable lesson for other companies in the automotive industry. It highlights the importance of adapting to the market and understanding consumers' needs and wants. Companies need to be able to provide cost-efficient vehicles that can withstand market changes, such as economic recessions. Additionally, you should also consider the maintenance and availability of parts to ensure that consumers are getting a good investment.
Thank you for watching. Please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do not forget to subscribe and share.